Well, howdy folks, how's it going today? I hope everybody's doing really good. Well, we have an old timer on the bench here today. This is an old vintage True Tone. Very cool old guitar. This belongs to a friend of mine. Now, I have done some work to this before. I actually shot a video where I did a refret on this guitar. The neck had so much forward bow in it, it was unplayable. Now this has a faux truss rod cover, okay? You can see where it was. There's no truss rod though. Kind of a sneaky little trick they pulled, I guess, back in the day. So anyway, I did a compression fret job on this using wide tang fret wire, and I actually got the forward bow to come out of it, and it's stayed nice and straight. Now, the only issue I'm having with this is these old tuners. They just, well, they're old tuners. We all know what they're like. They're junk. So what we're going to do today is take the tuners off this thing. I think I'm going to put a set of Grovers on here, to be honest with you, and just get it over with. Now that the neck stays nice and straight, you know, we just want to play this thing and enjoy it. And it's really tough to do that with those tuners. They just don't stay in tune. They cut strings. You know, these little openings where your string goes through on these old tuners are sharp. I've filed these down. It's not cutting the strings as bad, but as you can see, it still is cutting them and whatnot. That one broke down on the other end, but I broke 2 strings right here the other day just messing around with it, and you know, it's time. I know people are thinking this is like sacrilege and all that because it's a vintage guitar, but you know, I guess if you want to hang it on the wall and think about playing it, that's cool. You know, don't touch them, but this isn't worth $1 million. It really plays and sounds great. That's the whole key here. So, am I going to devalue this guitar? Not in my opinion. I'm going to keep the original tuners. Then we'll go with the guitar. It's not going to be sold anytime soon that I know of. So, we just want to enjoy it and play it and have it so it's mechanically sound, basically. But it is a nice guitar. It's a nice shape. There's not even really any checking. A little bit here and there starting to show itself, but it's got this cool old cheese grater pickup. Looks like something that come out of a bicycle tire repair kit or something, but that thing does sound really great. I do have the pick guard for it too, which would cover that wire up, but for now, I think I like it just like this. So it is in really nice shape. I'll flip it over and show you the back of it too. It's got kind of a green tint to it. It's kind of funky, really. I like it though. And again, this thing is in very, very good shape. I did a neck reset on this too, now that I remember. I haven't watched that video, I don't think, since I actually recorded it, but I did do a neck reset on this too. It had a big gap at the heel from all the forward bow, so we took care of that as well, and you know, just made it stable. So I think what we're going to do is cut the strings off next. We're going to take the tuners off. I'm sure I'm going to have to drill these out a little bit. Again, it's not that big a deal. This is not a D'Acquisto or a Martin or anything like that. It is a cool guitar and it sounds amazing though. So again, is that devaluing it? Not to me, because I want to play this thing. I don't want to stare at it no more. So here we go. We're going to get the strings off, take the tuners off, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. Well, I thought I was going to get them off. I can't. There we go. Had to see that one, I guess. Okay, so the nut come off too. That's fine. I'm going to do another setup on this anyway. Not that it wasn't set up, decent. It was. I played it a little bit the other day, but again, like I said, the tuners just keep slipping. It will not stay in tune, and that's just no good. What good is a guitar if you can't play it? I feel the same way about, like an old Martin or something. If I had an old Martin and it needed a neck reset, I would definitely do it, just because I'm more of a player than a collector. I do collect them too, but they gotta play, or they're just not for me. I mean, that's what this is all about, is playing these things and listening to their voice. So it's not a big deal. Once it's done, it's done. Then you just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're gonna flip her over now, and we'll take these tuners off. I'll put them in a bag, and bag them and tag them, and they'll go right with the guitar. So let's get her flipped over. Okay, well, they're flathead screws, so that tells me they are quite old. I'm not sure what year this guitar was. I can't remember. I'm thinking it was from the 50s, maybe? I really haven't dove into this for a long time, so I may have looked that up, when I did the neck reset and the refret. For some reason, I can remember doing some more research on the year of it, but it kind of slips me right now what it was. So it's definitely not a new one. You can tell, like I said, usually flathead screws is a pretty good sign that it's got some age to it. So I'm going to put those in a little tub over there and hang on to them. And we'll just keep proceeding like we are. Now the tuner buttons and stuff are pretty good on these. And, I have tightened them up. You can actually take a pair of pliers and kind of squeeze these so they're not... Now that one's a little loose. That one is too. I mean, you can only do so much. And again, they're just not a high quality tuner. And it's just a deal breaker for me, trying to enjoy a nice instrument like this that you just can't keep it in tune. And you can't keep it from breaking strings. So, sometimes it comes down to this. I will add this. If this thing really didn't sound that good, I would probably not do this. I would just leave it as it is, and it would be a wall hanger, basically. Okay, so we got the old tuners off. It's definitely the first time those have been off, as you can see. You can see the nice shiny paint where they were. It is a cool looking guitar, like I said. I like this kind of green. It's kind of different. So the next step is to get out some tuners and see what we got to do to make them fit. Alright, so I dug into my little stash here, and we're going to put some Grovers on this thing. Get it over with, and then we won't have to worry about this again, right? So it does need to get drilled out a little bit. I got to put those little ferrules in there too. Get those out. Sorry about the moving. I got you guys resting on the back of the guitar right now. So we got the ferrules out. Like I said, we are going to have to enlarge the holes, which, that's not a big deal. I'll show you how I like to go about it here in a second. They don't have to go a ton, so we're not going to get crazy with the drills and stuff. Okay, so I like to use a reamer if they're close instead of a drill. It slows me down a little bit, and it keeps from chipping the wood out around the hole. You can get these probably at an auto part store or somewhere, a tool place. I honestly can't remember where I acquired this, but I've used it a ton. So basically all you do is stick it in the hole and twist it, and it will actually start to ream the hole. Now, as you can see, it's tapered, so what I'll do is I'll take a little bit from the back side. I'll flip the guitar over and do the same thing on the front side. Again, you can drill these if you'd like, but be very careful about it. Put a block of wood under it or something so you don't blow the wood out around the edge of the hole with your drill bit. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit, and I'll kind of demonstrate how I do it, and then I'll probably just pause the camera, save you guys a little time and boredom, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm going to take the reamer and just try to widen that out a little bit. Oh, sorry about bumping the camera, folks. I really am. Okay, so that doesn't have to go too much, which is a good thing. And again, what I'm going to do is ream the back sides out first. I'll go through every one of these, right? Then I'm going to flip the guitar over, and I'll do the front side with the reamer as well. And I'll just keep doing it and checking each one until I get them fit right, okay? Once I get them in there and they fit right, we should be good to go. Now, it looks to me, yeah, that's going to work out good. So, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but you can see the existing hole where the other tuner was mounted, the three on a side. It looks like that Grover is going to line right up in the same hole. That's a pretty cool thing, really. I didn't want to put any more holes in it if I didn't have to, but if it come to it, then that's what it is. So there's a good little trick if you guys are going to replace, some old vintage three on a sides like that. Maybe check with a Grover and just see if the holes are going to line up. Now that's a cool thing. It doesn't look like it's been inhibited as much if you don't see extra holes, after we mount these. So it should work out pretty well, I think. And again, we'll be able to tune and play this guitar like it was intended to be played. Now, something else you want to check. I know I'm moving this camera a lot, but you can see that the headstock flares out at the top up here, right? So sometimes you really need to check the tuner and make sure it's going to clear when you turn the tuning peg. Now this one's going to be close, but it'll definitely clear it, so nothing to worry about there. Okay, let's keep going. Also, I wanted to add this too. If you don't have a reamer, okay, you can buy these step bits about anywhere. Now, if you're going to use one of those, you can put it in and turn it by hand, and that'll cut so fast you won't even believe it. Just go to the notch, there's steps, so go to the first step, check it with your tuning key, and see how close it is, then flip it over and do the same thing. And if you turn that by hand, that'll also keep the wood from chipping out around it, okay? So I just wanted to add that. If you don't have one of these or you can't find one, you can find these things everywhere. Harbor Freight, any tool place. So I just wanted to add that. Okay, just to demonstrate how good the step bit works, I've got a screwdriver attached to it, one of these universal ones. You can take the tip out and put a screwdriver tip in there. Well, these step bits are all geared for that as well, so it really does work fast. Now, the nice thing about the step bit is you have a place to stop and some sort of a gauge, if you will. to know how wide you've made the hole. So you just go to the next stop and recheck everything. But I just wanted to point out how simple and easy and how fast that will cut the holes without, totaling the finish around it. So another little trick. Okay, folks, so we got one pushed through there. Now, something I would like to add is this. The screw hole is going to line up too, by the way, which is great. Now, when you widen your holes out and you put your tuner in, you don't want to pound these in with a hammer. You should be able to push them down through with your bare hands, but they want to fit snug. You don't want no slop in that hole. That's why I do it by hand. That way I know I'm getting the precise fit. If you put them in there and they're too tight and the hole is too small, what happens is, they can split in between the holes over time. If the guitar shrinks up, it's gonna tighten up even more, and you may run into some problems here with cracking in your headstock. So don't make the holes too tight. Just make them so they push down through with some resistance, but you can still get them out if you had to, and you can still move them. But you don't want no rattle in there, and you don't want them loose, okay? Okay, so that hole was a little bit tight. So what we're gonna do is just take the reamer. Just gonna run that through the back a little bit and through the front as well, just a little bit, not much. I may have to take some more, but again, I try to do this in small increments so that way I get the tuner in just so. Now that's pretty good right there. It's tight, it's not loose in the hole, and that's how I achieve this really is, sometimes it's with a step bit, and I do that by hand as well, and that's just to do the heavy lifting for me to get some of the hole opened up. Then I'll take my reamer after and fine tune it from there. No pun intended. Anyway, this is going to work out really well, and I think they're going to look great too. That's not really the whole point here. It's just we want something that's going to work, really. You know what I mean? It's not for looks. So far, so good. And like I said, the mounting holes the screw holes that hold the tuner line right up nice. So what I may end up doing is taking these back out before I secure them and buff the back of the headstock, try to get this old kind of residue off where the other tuners were, basically just on the top side here and down on the bottom, here and here. But I think it's going to work out really well. So I thought I'd share this with you folks. I will do a video of it here later on after I get it all back together, and hopefully we can play it for more than 5 minutes without breaking a string or going out of tune. So anyway, I wanted to share that little technique that I use to mount these things with. And, I've tried it all. I've got a drill press here. I have all the tools in the world to do it mechanically, but something like this, you get one chance at doing it right. That's it. If you blow a hole through there with a drill bit and blow the back side of it out, you're going to be creating a lot more work and putting glue on and gluing pieces back in. It's just not the way to do it. So I do like this technique. It's I know a lot of people are thinking, wow, you could do it so much faster with a drill press. You probably could, but honestly, this works so fast just by hand. Like I said, get yourself a step bit, one of these kind of universal screwdrivers, and that will fit right in there. Then you have something to turn it with. I've used just the bit before and turned it with my fingers too, but the screwdriver thing works great. After that, take a reamer. If you don't have a reamer, maybe take a small file, like a chainsaw file, something like that to work it out, to the finished hole diameter, what have you. But I really do recommend getting a reamer. They just work really well. And again, you know, after you've widened the hole out, you can fine tune it with that reamer right to perfection. You just take your time doing it. I've honestly only been probably 10 minutes doing the holes here. You know, I paused the video, but this went really quick. And at the end of the day, they're in there nice and secure and tight. So that's a good thing. Well, alrighty, folks. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. I will do a video on this again when I get it all back together and show you why I did what I did, because this thing is really, really awesome. It sounds great, and it's just got a unique sound to it, all on its own. Okay, well, once again, I really appreciate all the views and the nice comments, and I'll try to keep putting this stuff up, you know, when I can, and shooting these videos. Hopefully this helps somebody out, and, you know, hey, if you can't play the thing, put some tuners on it. Don't worry about what anyone else says. As long as you're smiling when you're strumming it and it's staying in tune and playing it, that's what these are made for. They're not made to hang on the walls and, you know, critique the quality and, oh, somebody did this to it, and oh, no, it's not worth anything. And, well, think about this, guys. Pretty much every 59 Les Paul out there, somebody changed the tuners and put Grovers on them. It's just how it goes. I mean, did it devalue it? Obviously not. They're going for hundreds of thousands of dollars whether they have Grovers on them or not. And again, you know, if I had a 59 Les Paul and I couldn't play it, I don't know. That's probably why I don't own a 59 Les Paul. One of the reasons, the main reason, is obviously the price, but I wouldn't want one if I couldn't play it. You know, it's just not for me. I love to play guitars, not look at them. So in any case, folks, I really do hope this helps. And again, you know, taking it slow is a good thing. It teaches you patience, and the quality of your work will be much better. I really, really will guarantee that. You know, it's more of a hands-on thing. And again, I know you can do this with a drill press, and I've done it myself, guys, but this is my go-to. This is how I do it. Like I said, you got one chance at doing it right, so I like to take my time when I do it. So again, I hope this helps you guys out. And like I said, I'll shoot a good video of this and play it for you a little bit and show you how cool it is and how nice it sounds. So you folks have a good day. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Be good. Okie doke.